Do you think, on September 19th, let's just say this all happens and goes smoothly, that he's going to come in with a little bit of a different approach, some more aggression? Maybe he fights a little more emotional because his rivalry has gotten so personal.
There's no doubt about it. This rivalry is beyond personal. This is for bragging rights for the rest of our lives. There's no doubt that, fighting me, he's going to get the biggest adrenaline and the biggest, motivation and inspiration to come out here and try and knock me out. This fight sells in so many different ways. We used to be teammates, the Republican liberal angle, the hatred we genuinely have for each other. So I think we're going to see the best Tyron Woodley we've ever seen in this fight. And, speaking of his last 2 fights, those guys, they beat him on the judges' scorecards. This fight ain't going to the judges' scorecards. I'm going to leave no doubt I am the best welterweight in the world. I'm going to add another world champion to my resume, my long list of amazing resume that I already have. And I'm going to finish him. It's not going to the judges' decisions. I promise you that. He will get left unconscious inside that octagon.
Obviously, the win is first and foremost, but with this fight with Tyron, you've been hoping it would happen for years now. What is the goal on September 19th outside of just getting the win and, I guess just proving that you're the top welterweight in the world? Is there like a certain kind of finish that you're shooting for? Like, what is the main goal that'll satisfy you walking out of that octagon on September 19th if all goes well and this fight actually happens?
If Tyron Woodley does not leave the octagon on September 19th live on ESPN on a stretcher, then I didn't do my job, Mike.
At first, when I used to fight, I used to tell people, I don't care about the money. I'm fighting to be the best. I want to be the best, that's it. I don't need the money. But then after hanging out with DC, he broke something to me. He said it one day. He was like, you know how you used to say you don't fight for money? He's like, yeah. He was like, when's the last time you've been in a street fight? I said, I don't, since I've been fighting. He said, why not? Like, cause you don't fight for free, right? He said, you fight for what you fight to pay for your family. At the end of the day, that's what makes sense. You need to take care of your family. Don't be out here fighting just to get a world title, because at the end of the day, that's not going to take care of your family and everything. And like, that made sense. And then Eddie Alvarez told me the same thing. My coaches said the same thing. My manager was saying the same thing. And when the conversation came up with this another fight, and I asked him, like, see if we can get a little bit more money. If I'm going to keep doing this, I got to get my worth. I can't be going out there risking end up in the hospital, put my family through what we've been through for these little peanuts. And at the end of the day, my wife still got to work and everything to make ends meet. And they wouldn't budge. I'm like, no. And like, I only got 2 fights left on my contract, so we'd be renegotiating anyway. But even then, they was like, no, he's fighting for that or nothing. And then literally, I guess my manager got into this whole ordeal with them about my health and whatever was going on. And like I said, he said, if we can get more money, would you want to? I was like, sure. And like, all right, ask for my release. Literally, and that's another reason that made me so quick to accept it. When it's like, all right, we're releasing, the fact that they said okay in like literally 20 seconds. I was on the phone with my manager. He said, I'll call you right back. I hung up, my phone was called right back, like they said they'll release you. And it was the fact that, well, I was just got out of a procedure, 5 months. Like I said, I ain't got no anger towards the UFC, I understand. But this is where I knew my worth was to them. Like I said, I respect everything they did for my 7 years, giving me the platform to get where I am. But if I've been in this hospital situation for 5 months and I literally come out of this procedure that I could have died on the table doing, but they emailed me during the procedure to give me a fight contract. One, they don't really care about my health. And the fact that if I tell them all the stuff I've been through, I just want a little bit more money, and they say no and release me within 20 seconds, in my mind, it was like they really don't want me here no more. They got all these new guys. They trying to bring something else. Like Dana say all the time, we're looking for the next Ronda Rousey, the next Conor McGregor, the people that's going to be exciting. And we all know that I'm not that exciting guy. I'm not a boring. I go out there and I fight like a martial artist. I use what I'm good at and dominate with it. And it was kind of like, if I can get paid to do what I do more somewhere else and take care of my family and set us up to we're well off, it's time to make that move. And Bellator, they offer was money you get when you're number 4 in the world. Wow. And 100%. Where it was like, all right, my wife was very upset. It was hard for me to sign that contract. It was hard for me to say, all right, accept the release, because I started my career in the UFC, but at this point in time, I have to take care of my family. If I want to let my family grow and my money to grow, I can't just keep fighting for nothing just to be the champ. I got to fight to take care of my family. Yeah. And that's how we ended up in Bellator.
So you're facing an opponent in Chito Vera who has never been finished. Where does the confidence come from that you will be the first?
Just how many people I've knocked out in my life. My 2 last performances have been first-round knockouts. I think I have 8 or 9 first-round knockouts in my pro career. It's my fighting style. I start fast, he starts slow. That equals, first-round knockout in my mind.
So what challenges does Chito Vera present in your mind?
He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so you gotta assume that he's gonna try to grapple me. No, we haven't really seen my grappling. No one's been able to really take me down in the UFC. So we get that's the question right there. Can Chito take me down, and what happens once it hits the ground? My favorite sport's jiu-jitsu. I'm not a black belt in a gi, but I feel like I'm a very, very high-level jiu-jitsu player myself. I don't necessarily look at him and think he's got way better jiu-jitsu than me. I just don't. I don't think if it hits the mat, I think we're going to see, I'm going to open a lot of people's eyes. And that's probably his biggest tool is his pace, not his pace. He doesn't got a high pace, but he'll be there for 15 minutes. If I don't put his lights out, he'll be there for 15 minutes. He starts slow. I think he's scared to gas out, so he kind of starts slow and keeps this slow, steady pace, similar to a Diaz style, but not as good. So I think his grappling is probably the thing that plays a biggest threat to me.